Hey, bud. My mic is picking you up, so you can look at that.
I can do it all, I will never fall. It's the Renaissance, you know that I got the mother sauce. You know I'm the boss, I know what it costs. Have you ever lost? I'm so versatile, yeah, I'm a Renaissance man. I can do it all, I will never fall. It's the Renaissance, you know that I got the mother sauce. You know I'm the boss, I know what it costs. Have you ever lost? I'm so versatile, yeah, I'm a Renaissance man.
What's up, Hangar crew? Man, y'all might as well just go ahead and sit down, grab a beverage, preferably something strong enough to strip paint. We're gonna talk some Jets football, bro. We're gonna talk about the New York Jets. Gosh, man, and you know what, Vero Beach, you already came out here. You already saying it, brother. It's doom and gloom. It appears, man, for this season. It, I don't, I, you, I just feel like it's that Simpson meme, right? Where you know what I'm saying, you hear Bart saying like, yeah, it's the worst day of my life, right? And then freaking Homer gets down to Bart and he's just like, it's the it's the worst day of your life so far. And that's the New York Jets, man. I feel like in a nutshell, that's been our story. That's been our story, man. It's look, I'm Gunny Gumby, man, and this is another episode of the Hangar HangOut, and I really want these to be positive, like I really do. I really want these to be positive, but tonight's hangout is just more proof that the bottom can get worse. Like in the Marine Corps, they teach you how to. It's called embracing the suck, right? The suck being everything that can go wrong, all the misery you got to endure when you're in the military. Like it's just called embracing the suck. You got to embrace it. Like they have us digging foxholes in like the pouring rain or in the cold weather or in the heat, right? We got to dig a foxhole. You eat MREs that are like expired, like from like the Clinton administration, and you learn to just love the misery because it makes you tough. It builds character, and it's like team cohesiveness, right? Like this is the stuff we do in the Marine Corps. This is what I grew up enduring in the Marine Corps, and so I look at that and then I think about what it means to be a New York Jets fan. And that isn't embracing the suck. Like, this is psychological warfare. It truly is. And frankly, I got to admit, I think we're losing the war. I think we are. It's January 28th, 2026, guys. The offseason just kicked off. And usually this is the time of year when like the league slows things down a little bit, right? Like, but for us, oh no, for us, for the New York Jets, it's a special kind of hell. It really is. It's a special kind of hell. Yeah, I've spent my life around people who value competence and accountability, and watching this organization is like watching a slow motion train wreck every single day. And you wake up sometimes wondering how much worse can it be? Like, is this the day we finally we act as if we know what we're doing? Like, where do I begin? I mean, you know what? let's address let's let's address the elephant in the room. Before I do that, I want to give some shout outs Vero Beach was good, brother, man. Nice to see you. Miguel, as always, man, I appreciate the support. Welcome to the Hangar Hangout tonight, man. It's just the same old Jets doing same old Jets things. Appreciate you guys logging in. Y'all the true fanatics, man. Like, for this team to just bring us so much misery, I think this is because y'all need the therapy. I think this is our way of all collectively coming together as a fan base and getting the much needed therapy that we need when it comes to this organization, because we love them. We love the Jets, but they just don't love us back. It just feels like under the Woody administration, the Jets have not loved us back. And yet we need these opportunities to go ahead and just chop it up, man, and get it off our chest. What's up, Miguel? I appreciate you, brother. Todd's in the building. What's going on, Todd? Howdy to you too. Brian, what's going on? JE90's crew. Hey, listen, playoffs in 2031. Listen, that's honestly, unless some major changes happen, that's not out of the realm of possibility that's when we would actually see this team become relevant again. So again, time will tell. We'll see. Brian, it never bottoms out. It doesn't. It doesn't, man. I just feel like at this point, I got to start preparing myself more for more bad. I think tomorrow I'm going to mentally prepare myself that today wasn't the worst day. There's still tomorrow, and the Jets are still being run by Aaron Glenn, and Woody Johnson's still the owner. And I got to keep that in my mind so I stop surprising myself or being surprised by some of these things that I'm seeing day in and day out. We got Ryo. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's Ryo Skutakashi 1852 in the building. I'm probably butchering that, but this organization needs to be fumigated. I'm convinced when I retire from the Navy in 5 more years, when we get a winning season, fuck my life, brother. I feel that, man. I retired freaking, 5 years ago. 5 years ago. And it's been nothing but sucks. So, brother, thank you for your service, man. Always appreciate, you know what I'm saying, a fellow military person in the chat, especially the Navy. You guys have always been good to us in the Marine Corps. You give us rides to go to the wars and stuff, so we appreciate you guys. Brian, Jets fans, Jets organization. Yeah, we're a top tier fan base. It's the Jets do not deserve this fan base. They truly don't. I believe the New York Jets have arguably the best fan base in all of sports. And I say that because you're talking about an organization that hasn't done anything for us. And well, let's put a number on it. 16 years. 16 years. They haven't done anything for us of relevance. And yet, somehow, some way, they've increased in value every single year. We continue to pay for season tickets. We still go to these games. We pay for their freaking $20 beers and $10 hot dogs. We come into every new season believing, you know what? As a fanatic, we're going to look at our team in abundant zeal, because at some point or another, like statistically speaking, the pain has to stop. We've got to figure it out. I mean, that's the odds. And today's makeup of the NFL, it's made for you to be able to rebuild if need be 3 to 5 years, right? Between the cap space, your draft picks, you should be able to get to the realm of just competency within 5 years. They've expanded the playoffs. So more teams are making. We got teams making it with like 8 wins on a season. So like but for some reason, the organization does not want to show us that love. They don't want to go ahead and give us a return on our investment, our time, our money, our effort, our support, our fanatic, our zealousness when it comes to supporting this team. Yeah, Jets fans are top tier. Top tier. The organization is not. Organization is not, and they don't deserve us. But we're loyal. We're loyal. That's one thing I got to tell you, man. Jets fans, we are loyal, and loyalty is key. Some people will walk away, they'll leave, and that's fine. Do you? It means you were never truly a fan, in my opinion. You got to be loyal to this thing, man, because one day it's got to turn around. Woody's not going to be alive forever. There's going to be a time where, you know what I'm saying, he goes on. It's just the circle of life. There'll be new ownership. And I got to believe at some point or another, this thing gets turned around in my lifetime. You know what I'm saying? I would like to believe I have 30, 40 more years left on this planet. And if I'm able to go ahead and see my team turn it around, my goodness, man, it would have been worth it, right? To have just stuck it through the hard times. I'll tell you this, you're not going to ever call a New York Jets fan a bandwagon fan. Can't do it. Can't do it. We're about as true as it gets. You're right, Brian. They don't deserve us. But we're loyal as hell, man. And it is what it is. It is what it is. 2 years away from being 2 years away. Right? It does feel like that, right? Every single year we get a little bit closer just to go ahead and be 2 years away the following year. It's just an endless cycle. Infrared, what's going on, brother man? Nice to have you in the building. We're gonna tank for Archie. Will Archie's parents even allow him to come here? Highly doubt it. Now, I'm gonna comment on this. I've seen this a lot, right? In terms of individuals saying that Archie's not gonna come here because his parents won't allow it. I think a lot of people keep forgetting that, like, we could have had Peyton Manning. Like the whole argument with Peyton Manning going back to school was because Parcells would not guarantee that he would have been the first overall pick. And so Archie got involved and said, all right, cool, go back to school. Now we also know that with Eli Manning, he told him no for the Chargers, but he went to the Giants, right? Like the Mannings are not opposed to going to organizations and being the reason they turn things around. I think the whole thought process is they just want to be first overall picks. I truly believe that they want to be first overall picks. So yeah, no, I don't believe that Archie is going to be told like no, he can't be a Jet if we have the first overall pick. Um, I think they just want this to be the first overall pick, and that bloodline believes they've got it all figured out. Not to mention, you got the offensive line. Hopefully, we're smart enough to add a couple of components this year as well to the receiving core, so that way it's more appealing. And then when you fire freaking Aaron Glenn and you bring in an offensive minded head coach, hopefully, God willing, it's Clint Kubiak if he doesn't take a job this round. Then you've got more motivation for those guys to say, okay, cool. They've got the coaching, they've got the offensive line for Archie, they've got a couple more weapons. You got the running back if you keep Brees Hall. Although at this point, I'm starting to feel like maybe Brees Hall isn't worth keeping because he's very mopey in regards to just the way he looks at being a New York Jet. I don't know. I'm starting to get my vibes about him a little bit off. But I disagree that would be the case. I think that there's precedent there to where Archie would actually come here, especially if we have the first overall pick, which I think is very, very likely for this coming season. All right, look, I'm gonna get back to the comments in a little bit. Miguel says, I was listening to the Gangs All Here podcast on the way home. One of the guys was reporting from Senior Bowl in Mobile, and he was saying how the Jets were getting clowned on by everyone. I believe it. Sad but true. I believe it. You're seeing the kind of nonsense carousel that went on with the whole coordinator hiring, trying to get a coordinator in the building. This team is a train wreck. Aaron Glenn is a laughingstock. Woody Johnson is a joke. And you're hearing it and you're seeing it more. Like more individuals are just coming out and just saying it, right? More people aren't even like they're not even hesitating. It's LOL Jets. Like this is probably the worst offseason we've had in a while, because why do you fire every coordinator but you keep the head coach that told you last year he believes that picking the right coordinators is going to be the reason why he's successful? Like these were his choices, his picks. You cut every coordinator but you keep the head coach. I mean, the Patriots are going back to the Super Bowl, guys. The freaking Patriots are going back to the Super Bowl. Like, again, this has been one of the worst off seasons of all time. Like, and I say that because it took them a few years to fix their mess. We thought the dynasty was dead, right? And they're going back to the big dance. Drake May looks like he might be a dude. Mike Vrabel has these guys playing physical football, and they're back on the biggest stage in American sports. You couldn't really make this 2026 season kickoff worse for Jets fans if you tried, right? This is our worst nightmare situation. I mean, we just finished 3-14, which was so pathetic that it should have come with a formal apology to us fans. That's how bad it was. Like, I'm sick of the excuses, personally. I'm sick of the we're almost there talk. Like you said, Rayo, it's 2 years away from being 2 years away. It's a constant. I'm sick of the hold on to the rope bullshit that you're hearing from freaking Aaron Glenn. We aren't almost anywhere, man. Like, we are at rock bottom, and somehow this team just keeps on digging. So somehow, some way, this team keeps on digging. I really go into these. I prep for these podcasts, right? When I'm sitting here and I'm being negative, and I try to get that out of my system before I get on the mic, chopping it up with you guys, and then we're just going to talk about our team. Because again, we are true fanatics. We love this team. We want this team to succeed, but they make it so hard. They do everything they can for us to not be able to speak on them favorably. It's almost impossible to do. at, at this point, like we don't have a real defensive coordinator. We don't have a real offensive coordinator. We have an owner who plays fantasy football with a real franchise, and a head coach who's too scared or can't hire anyone that's smarter than him. Let's get into the breaking news for today. Let's talk about how dysfunctional this organization truly is. So, breaking news, and I'm saying that breaking news dropped today, and I'm using that word very lightly. Breaking news very, very lightly. Like it's more like a tragedy, but nevertheless, breaking news, right? The New York Jets officially hired a defensive coordinator. His name, Brian Duker. Brian Duker. Now, if if you're asking who the hell is Brian Duker? Hey, congratulations. You're in the same boat as every other sane football fan on the planet. This guy was like a secondaries coach in Miami. Um, Before that, he was an assistant in Detroit. And of course, in Detroit, he worked for, you name it, under Aaron Glenn. So he's never called plays. I think with Miami, actually, he was on the offensive side of the football. With Detroit, he was on the defensive side of the football. Again, the assistant is the highest he's ever achieved. I think maybe he was a passing game coordinator. I might be stretching that one. I'm not too sure. But nevertheless, this guy was a defensive assistant and pretty much a clipboard holder in Detroit. Are you seeing the pattern? Like for weeks, right? For weeks, we've heard about big names. We've heard about Jim Leonard, like a guy with a real defensive brain, a guy who actually knows how to adapt. But Leonard isn't coming here. No, in fact, what you're hearing now is he's headed to Buffalo to work for the Buffalo Bills to be Joe Brady's defensive coordinator. Think about that. Just think about that, man. A former Jet, a qualified leader, would rather go to a division rival than step foot in Florham Park. Wink Martindale, we heard yes, he's the favorite to come. He wants the job. We wanted to give him the job. And next thing you know, he gets into the interview piece. I think the face-to-face interview, which is like the third interview that he was brought in for. And he's being told for the first time, oh, listen, you're going to be coming here as a defensive coordinator, but you're not going to call plays. You're not going to call plays. Aaron's going to call the plays, but you're going to be the defensive coordinator. Wink was under the impression he was coming here to legitimately be a defensive coordinator, not hold Aaron Glenn's clipboard. So, boom. All of a sudden, he's no longer on track to be the defensive coordinator. We didn't even know about this. I thought it was a done deal. It was him or Jim Leonard. But we missed on every established name, and we get Brian freaking Duker. And why? I'll tell you why. Because the word is out. Aaron Glenn is going to call the plays himself in 2026, right? Cool. He doesn't want a coordinator. He wants an assistant to hold his clipboard. Cool. But here's the part that really grills my onions about this whole process, right? We're told this was a thorough search. But then we find out that the Jets just held a virtual interview with Duker, a Zoom call, and less than 24 hours later, he's the guy. You're telling me that in the middle of the most critical offseason in a decade, with our coaching staff in total tailspin, we picked the leader of our defense based on a 40-minute video call. I've had longer briefings on how to properly fold a poncho than that. And yet, that was the deciding factor, the exciting 40-minute virtual Zoom call that made him the freaking defensive coordinator for the New York Jets. It's lazy. It's lazy and it's cheap, man, and it's transparent. Aaron Glenn didn't hire the best coach available. He didn't. He hired a guy he already knew wouldn't push back. He hired a guy who was willing to do a virtual interview because nobody else with a resume worth a damn would even log into the meeting. And he knows this guy is not going to go ahead and be a problem for him. So that's why we have Brian Duker, whatever, what's his name? Is it Brian Duker? Whatever. Duker as the freaking defensive coordinator for the New York Jets. And Aaron Glenn wants us to believe there's a plan. Like, that there's a plan here. Like, the only plan I see is a head coach on the hot seat, surrounding himself with yes men, so he can go down with the ship on his own terms. It's not about winning football games, man. It's not. Glenn is not trying to surround himself with quality coaching. He's not. It's not about winning games. It's about Aaron Glenn keeping control of a defense that didn't catch a single interception last year. Not one. An NFL record, mind you. A virtual interview for a virtual defense. It's actually kind of perfect when you really think about it. It's an absolute disgrace, man, to us as the fans. And honestly, it's a disgrace to the jersey, the organization as a whole. It's just disappointment after disappointment. And at this point, we shouldn't expect anything less. I mean, like we truly shouldn't. I I really wanted to go ahead and be excited about this hire, right? Like I I'm already on the boat of not believing that Aaron Glenn is the guy. I've jumped ship. I realize after seeing what I've seen that I've seen enough bad football to know that this dude ain't it. This dude ain't it, man. Like he didn't show us a thing this year that could allow us to believe that he's the guy. Like that he can figure this out, especially when you look at the rest of the division, right? So you know the Patriots right now, they got Vrabel, they got a coach, they got a real coach. I think the freaking Dolphins made a mistake with the freaking hire they made for head coach, but you know what they have though? They have hope because they at least know or they believe that they got a guy who has a plan that could potentially change things around. They haven't had the whole year to process it yet. Like we believe that Aaron Glenn was the guy last year when he was at the presser. That's where the Dolphins are right now. So they're going into the season with some hope. The Bills still have freaking Josh Allen. Now you got Joe Brady, an offensive-minded coach, given the opportunity now to run the team his way, right? And honestly, if Leonard becomes the defensive coordinator over there, I think that coaching staff has upside, a lot of upside. We know Aaron Glenn ain't a guy. We know he's not a guy. And yet we're stuck with him. And as a fan base, there's nothing we can do except for except for suck it up. It's all we can do is suck it up because at the end of the day, he's not getting fired. We already know that. Freaking Woody's given him the green light to go ahead and still be here. How is Aaron Glenn still the head coach? Like somebody seriously explain it to me. Because there's nothing we've witnessed that would state that this man should be he should be a coach of a football team at this point. Because we watched a defense, his specialty, mind you. Well, allegedly, especially because what I saw this past season was garbage beyond. Anyway, a defensive-minded head coach go an entire season without making a play. His defense didn't make a play for the entire season. No turnovers, no identity, just a bunch of guys looking confused while the opposing quarterback carved them up game in and game out. Like that was the season, the 2025 season for the New York Jets defense. But somehow, some way, man, like he's still the coach. He's still the coach. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. Don't let go of the soap. I see Dano's in the building. What's up, Dano? I'm not the soap. What's going? We in jail all of a sudden? I don't understand where we at. Yeah, man. Listen, JE with a real comment here. Wood Johnson was good from 2001 2010. After that, it's been horrible. I think that's just maybe the age catching up with the man. A little bit of dementia potentially. Like a lot of guys when they get to that point, and this is the billionaire, you know what I'm saying? Things have always gone his way his entire life for him to get to that point at some point. And I honestly believe that you can't become a billionaire without cutting some corners or being shisty in some way. So this is a guy who's accustomed to getting what he wants. And I'm maybe after the AFC Championship loss, it just crushed him. Maybe it just crushed him. I'm assuming that might have had something to do with it. But nevertheless, man, since that, he's been way too much into the process and he's blown it every single time. Like it's just been a disaster every single year. And like this year, again, there's more to this. Like this wasn't just on on like Woody, right? I'm sorry, on like Aaron Glenn, right? Like the real issue is the coaching staff is an absolute shambles. Like we already know that. Like we fired the assistants as scapegoats, and now we're out here trying to hire a defensive coordinator that's not a defensive coordinator. Nobody wants a job, and you got to ask yourself, why would they? Why would a respected high-level defensive mind really come here to work under a guy who's clearly over his head and on the hot seat? It's a dead-end job. It's a dead-end job, man. Like we know Woody, we know Aaron Glenn. He's not going to be the coach next year. I mean, Miguel just found it for me, man. Vegas odds for AG to be fired first, plus 400 odds to be fired at the bye week. I don't think he makes it to the bye week, personally. I think he'll have 8 games. And honestly, I don't know if we win 1 or 2. By the bye week, I'd be shocked if we had 2 wins. I'd be absolutely shocked. I don't think that's going to be the case for us. It's a dead-end job. And anyone who you would have brought in here kind of knows it. Like I think around NFL circles, they know that AG is cooked. Like this dude is in over his head. He doesn't know what he's doing. We're out here interviewing guys who are basically just happy to have a paycheck because the real candidates don't even pick up the phone. Like it's embarrassing. It's a complete lack of leadership from top down, like from ownership to coaching. No leadership. And then you want to know how this gets even worse? Like better, however you want to look at it. Like it gets abundantly worse for us as a fan base because now we get to the part that should make our blood boil. The reports coming out about Jon Gruden. Jon Gruden. Um, so the word is that the Jets reached out to Gruden to see if he'd come in and help the staff. Not like be the head coach, but like be on Aaron Glenn's staff. And what did Gruden do? Well, he told him to fuck off. He didn't just say no. He made it clear that he wouldn't touch this disaster with a 10-foot pole. Jon Gruden told us no. Like, let's be real about where that call came from. I don't think AG called Jon Gruden. Like, Glenn doesn't have the guts to me to bring in a guy like Gruden. He's too insecure. He knows that if a real personality to a guy like a guy with a Super Bowl ring walks into that building, Glenn becomes irrelevant almost immediately, right? And he's terrified of being outshone. Now, he'd rather hire a yes man who won't challenge him than a winner who might actually fix the offense or the culture. And I'm not saying Jon Gruden's that guy, right? Again, it's been a couple of decades since he's been in the building, but I'm not saying he's that guy. But Aaron Glenn's not making that call. He's not making that call. Let's be honest, man. Like, if he makes that call, Aaron Glenn knows the moment we go 0-2, 0-3, it's going to be fire AG, promote Gruden. Like, we'll be chanting that in stadiums. We'll be tweeting it out, and he knows this. So to bring in somebody who could potentially outshine him, not going to happen. No, that call came from Woody Johnson. That was Woody panicking because he sees the Patriots winning, and he's trying to buy a big name to distract us, the fans, from the fact that he has no idea how to run a football team. Now, I want you to think about that. we are so toxic as an organization that a guy who has been desperate to get back into coaching for years now, would rather stay unemployed than work for the New York Jets. Like, that is the reality of where we are right now in 2026. You can't make this stuff up. Like, you really can't make this stuff up. When I heard the Jon Gruden situation pop up, I was just like, damn, that's tough. That's tough, man. That's rough. Because again, you hear this guy talk constantly. John, okay, so it's the equivalent. I'm not gonna say the equivalent because Rex Ryan is a different breed, right? But Rex Ryan desperately trying to get back into the league, and how he would want this job. That's been Jon Gruden, literally trying to get back into the league for years now. So imagine if we offered Rex Ryan an opportunity to come. You know what I'm saying? Well, he did tell us to F off when it came to being the defensive coordinator. So imagine telling Rex you're going to come back into the NFL as a coach, and then he told, "Oh, it's the Jets. Nah, I'm good." Like, that's embarrassing. It's absolutely embarrassing. I just don't know how we're here. This, not just here, we're here this fast, right? You're seeing the Titans. They hire freaking Salah. You got Sam Darnold and Leonard Williams going to the Super Bowl. And it's not, people aren't talking about that. Do you guys notice that? Like, it's look at the New York Jets fired freaking Salah, and now he gets to go to Tennessee with a real quarterback, and he's bringing in Dayball with him as his offensive coordinator. The Titans are going to get to the playoffs before the freaking New York Jets do, and it's going to be the funniest thing. I'm seeing tweets about that already. Sam Darnold, freaking the Jets quit on Sam Darnold, and now he's taking the team to the Super Bowl. And you sit there and you're like, what? Sam was on 3 other teams between us and the Seattle Seahawks. It wasn't just us. The worst situation, in my opinion, is how the Vikings let Sam Darnold walk out of the building after he won them 14 games. But somehow, some way, it's just easier to be LOL Jets. LOL Jets, they missed out on Sam Darnold. LOL Jets, they missed out on Leonard Williams. Both of these guys are going to the Super Bowl. Not mentioning the fact that both of them had numerous stops between us and said Super Bowl appearance or the team that they're currently on. Nope, it's LOL Jets because all we do is drop the ball. We're a punchline. The New York Jets are a punchline in the NFL. And we heard earlier, I think it was Miguel that said that, word coming out of freaking the Senior Bowl is LOL Jets. You got kids who are trying to get into the league and they're laughing at the probability of working for the New York Jets. That's our reality, man. That's our reality. It's just one of those things where I can't help but I'm in awe. I'm truly in awe that it can be this bad, consistently this bad. Like it's a gift. It's got to be a gift for the New York Jets to find ways to embarrass not just the fan base, but the organization, the history of the team. Uh, I'm. It sucks. It sucks because when you're a fan of this team and you're just hoping at some point like it turns around. You're just hoping at some point the team starts to love you back the way you love this team. And we know that this year we ain't gonna see it. Like I know 2026 is a washed year. And if you're honest with yourself as a Jets fan, you know 2026 is a washed year. The only thing we have going for us right now is the hope that this washed year leads us to the number one overall pick, and then potentially with that, a quarterback of the future. And then hopefully there's a new coach in the building that's going to be coaching that quarterback because I don't believe we currently have any coaches that are worth a damn on the roster, except for Banjo. Banjo is someone that I would keep. When we fire everybody, I think Banjo should be left as a special teams coordinator. The dude did amazing things this year. Love that guy. Except for Banjo, the Jets organization is inept. Now, after this last week, man, I think that with the second overall pick now. So now who are we looking with that pick? And I'm supposed to be excited about this. I truly should be, but I can't be because I understand that you have to believe in the staff, right? And why should I believe this staff can develop anyone? Why should you believe this staff can develop anyone? We've got a head coach who is fighting for his life, an owner who meddles in things he doesn't understand, and a coaching room that's basically an empty shell. So we're drafting players in this draft class, and there's no guarantee we're going to be able to develop them. Now, my hope is that Muji, who made some nice picks in this last draft, realizes that he can save himself by picking the right players in this draft class. He can save himself or give himself a chance at picking his own head coach next year if he treats this draft class like AG's already fired, right? And I know that's a tough ask because AG's the reason why he's here. He's going to be loyal to him. I get that. I understand that completely. But if he's being honest with himself, people in his circle need to be telling him, like, bro, in this draft, you can't let AG drive the bus. You got to go ahead and be in there and bring logic and analytics to the game. So you pick the guys you believe are going to bring the most value to the Jets organization, not so much to Aaron Glenn. You need to understand that because Aaron Glenn there's a 90% chance Aaron Glenn is not the head coach of the New York Jets by week 8 of next year. That's my belief. Now, can he surprise us? Yeah, of course. 10% chance he surprises us. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying it's improbable. There's a 10% chance he surprises us. But I think Muji can still save his job because I think Muji did some good things in the trade market as well, right? Brought in some pieces that I think contributed to the team in a positive way. And I think he needs to look at this draft to be an extension of that in order for him to potentially, how do I say this, man? Potentially keep his job when we fire AG and give him a chance to bring in a real coach. That's my thought process. Now, if we draft a quarterback at 2, and I'm just saying that because I know right now Fernando Mendoza is the only real option. I don't believe he's dropping the 2. I think whoever has the number 1 overall pick is going to go get Fernando Mendoza. And Dante Moore is gone. It won't surprise me at the least bit if Ty Simpson starts climbing up some boards. And I would hate that. Personally, I don't think there's a quarterback worth the number 2 overall pick in this draft class. If my ideal situation would be for us to trade back, but if not, you go for one of those stud defenders. You know what I'm saying? Like whether it's Bain, the kid from Texas Tech. you could gamble on Reese's just raw physical gifts, but again, without the coaching staff in place to really kind of to kind of like mold him into being that dude, I don't know if that's worth the gamble either. So ideally for me, is you just trade back. You just trade back because get more assets. Because then maybe you grab another first in next year's draft class, and then you're more enticing to whatever coach you want after you let go of AG. That's what I'm doing if I'm Muji. If I'm Muji, I'm trying to find ways to make this team appealing to my next head coach. That the guy that I want when I make the phone call after we fire AG, I don't have to worry on selling him on some scrub names. I want to let him know, hey, we got the first overall pick. We've got this many more first rounders, this many second rounders, et cetera, et cetera. In last year's draft, I grabbed this dog, that dog, this dog. We still got freaking Garrett Wilson. We still got the offensive line in play, the defensive line, whatever, man. You want to be able to sell, like tangibly sell to your next head coach why he's going to have a better chance of succeeding because there's pieces here he can work with. Oh, and by the way, you now get to go ahead and be the part of the process, the main part of the process for the next round of pieces. You got $200 million in cap space. We've got 5 picks or 4 picks right now, 3 first rounders, 1 second rounder at premium picks. And then if you can add another second or a first by pushing back, I would push back from this year's draft just because I'm thinking about, okay, the coach that I want, this is how I'm going to entice him to come here. That's what I would do. But right now, I don't think we have a real plan. Like we don't have a real staff. We just have a bunch of people trying to save their jobs for the time being for one more year. And to me, it's kind of selfish. It's short-sighted. And it's why this team hasn't won anything since, 2010. This is why. It's been a constant Rolodex of individuals just trying to save their own asses, vice trying to make the New York Jets better. You know what I'm saying? They've been taking swings and missing, vice trying to make the New York Jets better. And Muji has to be that dude. I think Muji has to be that dude. You've got to realize your job is to make this team better. Infrared goes, if Coach Glenn gets fired, Woody would still have to pay Coach Glenn $12 million each year for the next 4 years, 10 at Bam and the 33rd. Listen, I don't care. I don't care. This guy's a billionaire. $12 million is a drop in the bucket for. He probably has that in his couch cushion. If Robert Kraft can do it, you know what I'm saying? Like you've got teams that are paying Deshaun Watson. Browns are paying Deshaun Watson to do nothing. Like I don't care. If you care about winning at all, you're going to realize AG's not the guy very early on next season. Like I think a good portion of us have noticed it already. We know AG ain't the guy. But if you're Woody, that $12 million is pocket change for him. He's a billionaire. Pocket change. He probably has, that and a couple of stacks in his desk and it's pocket change. You need to you're old, bro. Woody, you're old. If you're not going to sell the team, you're old. You need to go ahead and make moves now that's going to allow you to hopefully see a Super Bowl in this lifetime. That's the goal, right? That's the goal. See a Super Bowl. Otherwise, what are we doing it for? What are we doing it for? I want to see a Super Bowl. Y'all want to see a Super Bowl. Bro, you're old. You're up there. Your window is shrinking every day. So you fire AG and you go get yourself a guy who can make it happen. But yeah, the 33rd team, people need to stop doing that. Tannenbaum and Dan, they don't know what the hell they're doing. Y'all need to stop with this. We're going to talk to the Tannenbaum and 33rd. They're trash at their job. Stop wasting money. That's money you're wasting right there where you could be putting that towards a legitimate freaking head coach. Just trust an adult in the building. I think Muji would probably have some good insight on what a good head coach looks like personally. I don't know if AG would have been one that he would have hired had he been the GM with full reign to be able to pick his own head coach because AG kind of picked him. But yeah, I 12 million sounds like a lot to us because it is a lot. It's a lot of money. I'm not saying it's a lot of money. It's life-changing money. But to a billionaire, bro, that's chump change. And for him, as he comes to the end of the road, I think it's a priority for him to go ahead and see some level of success. You want your name to kind of go down, in positive rafters, not in infamy. So get yourself a Super Bowl ring, man. I mean, he'll never be a Hall of Fame owner. Speaking of Hall of Fame, I know this is off topic, but I will say this: there was some joy brought to us as Jets fans to see that freaking Bill Belichick, good old cheater ass Belichick, good old the coat write-in of Tom Brady Belichick, not get inducted into the Hall of Fame in the first ballot. and people are losing their minds over it. I'm like, what are we surprised by? One, guy got caught twice as a coach cheating. Twice. That's only twice that we know of in his tenure. So imagine how many times he didn't get caught because he got really bold to have gotten caught twice. So boom, we know he's a cheating ass coach. Easy day. We know before Tom Brady he was a loser, and after Tom Brady he was a loser. He's a loser on the collegiate level right now, which I think also hurt him a lot. He should have just retired and went off into the distance with his little freaking 20-year-old girlfriend and then not have to worry about being in the spotlight. But people are seeing more so that, like, you're a horrible coach. Like, you can't coach, right? And the question is real. Is Tom Brady the reason why Bill Belichick was successful? I'll never take away the fact that he was a great defensive coordinator, right? If he was going to the Hall of Fame as a defensive coordinator, then cool. He'd probably be a first ballot Hall of Famer. I think he was one of the most creative defensive minds in football at the time. The dude's defense always changed and adjusted to the offense. They weren't stubborn into one particular set. I'll give him that. But as a head coach, bruh, your coaching tree is trash, right? Mike Vrabel, would you really call him part of his coaching tree? He played for him. He didn't coach underneath him. So your coaching tree is trash. The guys you've sent out into the freaking NFL to go ahead and coach have been garbage. They have failed, right? You've lost. You're a loser. You got a losing winning record with before Tom Brady and a losing record after Tom Brady. So was it Tom Brady or was it you? We all know Tom Brady went straight to freaking Tampa and walked into the Super Bowl like it was nothing. So the fact that Bill Belichick is not a first ballot Hall of Famer, to me, is not surprising at all. I don't think it should surprise anybody. The dude has not won without Tom Brady. He hasn't done it. At the collegiate level, in the NFL, he hasn't done it. He's got caught twice cheating. So we already know he's a coach that got caught twice. So how many other times did he not? Like, to me, it brought joy to my heart, and I love seeing all these people cry about the fact that, like, he's not a first ballot Hall of Famer. Wah, cry some more. Bill Belichick is not a first ballot Hall of Famer. I've been saying for the longest time he's a great defensive-minded coach, but if he's not a defensive coordinator, if he was a first ballot defensive coordinator, I wouldn't argue that. But head coach, guy was a bum. Bum before Brady, bum after Brady. What are we shocked by? I don't get it. So that brought some joy. Off topic, completely off topic, but that brought so much joy to me this week because it's the only thing we got as Jets fans is to hate watch our rivals, players, and teams just fail. And he's the Patriots coach for a good portion of the infamy that was the last freaking 20 years. So I just enjoyed that a little bit to see him not get it. And I enjoyed watching this little freaking the media and this little freaking minions all wah and cry about it. Nah, he'll be in the Hall of Fame soon enough. But they got it right. Not a first ballot Hall of Fame guy. If you had won one without Brady, maybe it's a different story. But the fact is, Brady could win one without you. You could win without Brady. Before Brady, you were a trash coach. After Brady, you were a trash coach. You're a trash coach right now in the collegiate level. You can't even coach decently in college to matter. In the ACC, bruh, not a first ballot Hall of Fame coach. He'll get there one day, but they made the right call. Freaking bum. I digress. Speaking of the Patriots, they're legitimately playing for a trophy. They're playing for the Super Bowl. Now, I got Seattle beating them. I'm hoping Sam Darnold can find a way, right? But they're playing for a Super Bowl again, and we're playing for, I don't know, not being the biggest joke in the league. And right now, we are losing that battle also. It's tough. It's really tough being a Jets fan. When does it end? Like, when does it end? Like, when do we get to be excited as a fan? When do we get to get all these in these hangouts and in these podcasts and just be joyful? Just enjoy the fact that, like, our team is finally they're finally freaking relevant. Like, I don't know, bro. Like, for me, it's one of those things where it's painful to say the least, right? And I guess it's just a matter of time. 100% he's booty cheeks. 100% he's booty cheeks. When Bill was in Cleveland, he was Basura, bro. Trash. 100%. Trash. Who was this? Bill Belichick took the Browns to the playoffs and won 2 rings as a Giants coordinator. Like I said before, if he was going to be in the Hall of Fame for being the best defensive coordinator, I'm not arguing that. Wouldn't argue that. I would have been like, nah, the dude defensively was wow. Really, I thought, like, okay, creative defensive. The Patriot way was not freaking Bill Belichick. That was Tom Brady. You know how I know? Because it walked out the door with Tom Brady when he went to Tampa Bay. And somehow Tampa Bay became the Patriot way. And they walked into Super Bowls. Yeah, Bill Belichick is not a first ballot Hall of Fame coach. He's not. I didn't say he was trash. I said he was on the first ballot Hall of Fame coach. I mean, I'll say he's trash because I don't like him. But like in terms of first ballot Hall of Fame coach, no. There's too many question marks. Too many question marks. You were trash before Brady. You've been trash after Brady. That's legitimate. And then at the collegiate level, you're trash in the ACC for crying out loud. So was it you or was it Brady? That's a legitimate question you got to ask yourself because what have you done without Brady? You won a ring as a coordinator. Cool. With Parcells is a first ballot Hall of Fame coach. Like that's why he won that ring. But cool. Like I don't care whose feelings it hurt. I don't care. Dude's not a first ballot Hall of Fame coach. Can't do it. Jake says, just wake up in 2020. At this point, that's the hope. That's the hope. If we're being honest with ourselves, 2026 season's already cooked. Like it's a wrap. It hasn't even started yet, and it's already over. It's already over. I saw somebody say, I want to say it was Buffalo Jet fan. He said, like, if you could, like in Madden, how you can go ahead and just press skip so it simulates the 2026 season. I would love that. I would love if we could just do this simulate the 2026 season because this is going to be embarrassing. It's going to be bad. But unfortunately, we have to watch them all. We got to watch every single game. We got to endure it. Yeah, 2027 will be nice. Man, I just this sucks, bro. Like it just sucks. I just pay people to go through our trash and put fake reporters in our locker room. Why would the Jets fans take it from? I'll never do it. I don't care I don't care if it hurts people's feelings. I hate Bill Belichick. Hate him. Hey, I hate Tom Brady, but I respect him. I respect Tom Brady because I've seen him do it outside of the Patriot system, which I thought was the Patriot way. And that's when I stopped giving Bill Belichick his flowers. Is I thought to myself, man, if Belichick can go ahead and make freaking Jimmy Garoppolo look decent, it's got to be him. And then when Tom Brady left the building and it was all I was like, oh, okay, wait a minute. And then I saw Tom Brady go to freaking Tampa Bay Buccaneers and they became the Patriots. Like, nah, I was like, all right, timeout. And then it became relevant. And then you just kept watching Belichick just suck more and more and more. And then he goes to college. Like, that's when it really, I was like, oh, yeah, this guy's beyond garbage. In the ACC, yeah, if you want to defend him all you want to. The guy's trash. Tom Brady is the reason why Bill Belichick has as many rings as he does. Tom Brady is a first ballot Hall of Famer. Never argue that, and I hate the man. But I respect the guy because I love football, and I respect the guy. But for me, Bill Belichick, cheating ass bum, all this stuff, I'll never defend him. And every time a Jets fan does, I don't get it. I've had Jets fans say they don't even hate Tom Brady as much as they hate like the Patriots as much as they hate like the Dolphins and the Bills. Look, the Dolphins have been as dysfunctional as we are. We're like on even playing field in terms of just the dysfunctional franchises. Dolphins and Jets. The Bills haven't won a Super Bowl, so it's been fun for them because they've been winning the AFC East. But where has it gotten them? Where has it gotten them? It's kind of hate on them when they don't even have a Super Bowl. So for me, it's the Patriots. Yeah, I'm hating on the Patriots. Like I don't hate down, I hate up. They've had their foot on our necks for freaking 20 plus years. You know what I'm saying? Bill Belichick quitting on a napkin, you know what I'm saying? Leaving the freaking Jets without a coach. Bro, like all that stuff, I'm still pissed about. Yeah, I hate the Patriots. I'll never understand any Jets fan who sits there and be like, but it's no. Fuck them. Fuck the Patriots. I can't do it. Evening Gunny, David D6D6 in chat. I wonder if the high rate of failure of Bill Belichick's coaching staff members as head coaches elsewhere hurt BB's first ballot. It has to. Because you hear people talk about the coaching tree all the time, right? What makes you that next tier of an NFL coach. Yeah, you can win the Super Bowls, which is good. You need that on your resume. But look at his coaching tree. Everyone that tried to do what they were taught by Bill Belichick elsewhere without a Tom Brady leading the way has been garbage, trash. They brought What the man taught them, wherever they went, garbage. The Belichick method of coaching, trash everywhere in the NFL. Like if that doesn't tell you that Tom Brady was just different, like that guy was legitimate. I mean, he's wired different too. He was the MJ of the NFL. Let's be honest, man. He was the MJ of the NFL. Guy was wired different. It was all ball for him. Huge chip on his shoulder being freaking picked where he was in the NFL draft. The dude was on a mission to make people regret bypassing him. Tom Brady was different. He was the Kobe Bryant of the NFL. He was the Michael Jordan of the NFL. Let's be real about this. The dude did a lot with a lot less, too. He wasn't the most physically talented guy. He was the smartest and the hardest working guy in the room, in the building, on the field at all times. It sucks to admit that. I hate that that's the case because I hate the Patriots. But I would have loved for Tom Brady to be my quarterback. Would have loved it. Would have loved to have Tom Brady as our quarterback. The guy's built different. He's built different. So, yes, I do believe that the reason why he's not a first ballot Hall of Famer is, one, he hasn't proven he can win without a guy like Tom Brady at the helm, because he hasn't. He then went to college, took his talents to college, and the team got worse. The team got worse. Like, horrible coach. And then you look at his coaching tree, every single coach from his coaching tree that's gotten a job as a head coach in the league, or even the defensive coordinator, like they've sucked. I think McDaniels is the only one that was good as an offensive coordinator, but then he wasn't. Like, it was more of a fluke. Like, that's the truth of it all, man. His freaking coaching tree, garbage. And what did they do? They all tried to do what they learned from Bill Belichick everywhere they went, and it didn't work. And Bill Belichick's freaking way of coaching doesn't work without Tom Brady. Defend him all you want to, but the data is there for you. Stop looking at the Super Bowls. Everybody's like, oh, but he's got 8. Stop looking at 6 Super Bowls. Stop looking at it. Or 8 Super Bowls. So what? Don't care. Stop looking at it. People always say, like, wins aren't a quarterback stat. Super Bowls aren't a quarterback or on a coaching stat either. Like, that's freaking a lot of things going your way. The Patriots are going to the Super Bowl this year. Do we think they have a Super Bowl caliber roster? Is Mike Vrabel all of a sudden, after 2 years on the sideline, a Super Bowl head coach? No, a lot of things went their way, albeit the softest schedule of all time. A lot of things went their way. They faced a bunch of scrub quarterbacks along the way, so they got to the Super Bowl. I don't think they're going to win one. You also look at the Super Bowl as well. Some colossal collapses by their opponents that they, of course, took advantage of. Don't forget that part. Seattle freaking hands the ball off to freaking Marshawn Lynch. They don't win that game. The Falcons get their head out of their ass. They don't give up a 27 point. They don't win that game. Like, people they just look at he has 8 Super Bowl. Who cares? Look at the context behind it all, and then look at the freaking common denominator. The common denominator was Tom Brady. When Tom Brady was on the field, that team was just gross. When he was off the field, they were a mid-playoff team. And then when he was off the team completely, they couldn't even make it to the playoffs. They were trash. Trash. Common denominator was Tom Brady. Then he goes to college. No Tom Brady. Trash. His coaching staff tries to do everything they learned from Bill Belichick elsewhere. They're trash. Like, just do the math. The math is simple. Tom Brady was the Patriot way. Listen, Tom Brady's the first ballot Hall of Famer. They're not the same. I saw somebody talking about, like, if Bill Belichick's not a first ballot Hall of Famer, that means Tom Brady isn't. You're high. They are not the same thing, because Tom Brady has won everywhere he's gone. I.e., it's just the 2 teams, but that's not easy to do. He won Super Bowls in New England and then won them as an old man with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Made that team Super Bowl contenders instantly. First ballot Hall of Famer. Kick rocks. The common denominator of the Patriots dynasty, Tom Brady. Tom Brady. So if you want to defend him and say, like, oh, man, can't believe you're saying this about Bill Belichick. I don't care. Do the math. Stop looking at, he has 8 rings. I don't care. Do the math. Look at how those games were won. Look how he's done without Tom Brady in the picture. That's the common denominator. The March for Arch began once the season ended. I think the March for Arch kind of began like mid-season, if we're being honest, right? We knew he wasn't going to come out. And I think a lot of us started to see the writing on the wall that, my gosh, Aaron Glenn is not the dude. And then we started hoping that he would get fired, and then next. But yeah, the march for Arch happened pretty much like mid-season. But I'm with you. That was the focus after we realized the quarterback situation was going to be hard, like hard to deal with come this season. I get it, brother. Jimmy Saban, just name a few right there. Yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough. Gunny, we are built for the shot. Yeah, in all actuality, uh, look at us. We're still here talking about it, and we're going to be here next week talking about it. We've got probably more podcasts than any other freaking fan base on the planet, right? So we are, and then all of us have Jets fans who jump on and get their therapy because these are therapy sessions. This is us trying to go ahead and get it all out. Let's just be real about it. So yeah, man, we are built for this shit, and it sucks because I'd rather be built for winning, for enjoying things. Right? I can just go 0-17 this cup. Seriously, no, like I'm so I think 2 wins max. And I think those are going to be wins that we kind of accidentally like kind of fall into. No, I'm with you 100%. There's a chance the Jets can go winless this coming year. We're not going to have any serious coaches. Like, I know people are excited about Frank Reich coming in as potentially the offensive coordinator. Um, bruh, like we're not going to have any serious coaching on this team. I'm telling you now, Jets fans, just be prepared for it to suck. Like we've got to go ahead and start locking in right now and preparing ourselves for just pure pain because the 2026 season is going to be embarrassing. We are going to be even more so the butt of many jokes because we're going to see the New York Jets embarrass us in ways we didn't think could be worse from last year. And I'm not going to say it's because of the players. I think we do have pieces here and there talent wise. I think you can add a couple more pieces even in the offseason, even in the draft. But the fact of the matter is coaching matters. Coaching matters in this league. And when you don't have a superstar, a stud, right, to go ahead and offset mid coaching, average coaching, right, you're in the gutter. You're in the gutter. And I think that's where we're going to be at this year. I think 0-17 is possible, but I got us probably winning 2 games next year. And that sucks to say out loud. Never felt this defeated before in January for this. Bro, Jake, I feel you, Doug. I'm usually more pumped about what the draft can bring, right? I'm excited about the draft, and I'm trying to find ways mentally and emotionally to uplift my expectations for the team, to wash away the sins of this past season, and to go ahead and start processing things in a good light. But I am with you when I say I've never been this defeated. I've never felt this down. And it's not just because the Jets are starting off the offseason basura trash, right? But the Patriots are back in the Super Bowl. That hurts too. That's like an extra punch to the gut when we're already down. We're just getting kicked now with the Patriots making it to the Super Bowl. Even though I don't believe they're going to win it, there's still the chance they could. And my gosh, if the Patriots lift the Lombardi in the Super Bowl, this would have like just gross. Absolutely gross. So I'm hoping Sammy Boy can do it for us, man, and save us from seeing Robert Kraft lift yet another Super Bowl trophy. I think 6 is enough. I think 6 is enough, bro. Now you're being selfish. You're being selfish, bro. I think 6 is enough. Bid not bid. Nobody dissed Fields. When Woody dissed Fields, Big Will, what's up, brother? When Woody dissed Fields, I knew AG sold him on 3 years. We as fans love players. The Quinnen and Sauce trade was hard. We wouldn't have done that, but if we hit on 80% of the picks, we earn great. Listen, the Quinnen and Sauce trade makes a lot of sense. If we're being honest with ourselves, we had a roster that is years away. Years away. I don't years away. I really believe it's bad. I don't think we're going to be contenders for at least 3 to 4 more years, and that's if everything falls into play. That's if we hit on 80% of those picks. That's if we get a competent coach in the building to actually lead these men. That's if things fall in place for us during the season. So, yeah, the trade made sense, especially when you talk about the return, the assets you got back for that, because you can kind of like fast track a rebuild with those kind of assets. Whether or not we're able to capitalize for another thing, man. Bro, and again, 80% of the picks will be great, but I really think like 60%, as long as you get the quarterback right, you could handle being 50, 55 to 60% hit on the picks, and then you add a couple of proven veterans to the mix as well. You can turn things around fast. Look at the Patriots, man. They didn't do a lot last year that would I would say is off the wall signings to go from one of the worst defenses to one of the best defenses in football. Drake May played within the confines of the offense, right? They made sure they didn't put him in too much trouble. You don't need superstars at every single. I don't think the Patriots have any superstars. I think maybe Gonzalez might be considered a superstar, right? The corner, but they don't have a superstar. They got stars, right? Drake May isn't a superstar yet. Like he's on his way to being a star. He's definitely a franchise quarterback. Can he be a star? Can he be a superstar? We'll find out. I think if you get the quarterback right, man, you could hover around 60% in terms of draft picks, and a couple of your veteran free agent signings have to contribute, and you can go from being a bum like we are right now to being at least a playoff contender. But until you got the coaching and the quarterback in sync, I don't think you can really have the conversation of being Super Bowl contenders. That's what Brian says he went to college because that's where the young ladies are. That's facts, man. He went himself, and I ain't mad at him, man. Old man's doing his thing, man. He got himself a little young girlfriend. Do your thing, dog. Do your thing. Live your best life, man. If you're happy, you're happy. I ain't even mad at that. As long as she's legal, which she is, right? Do your thing. I'm just referring to specifically his coaching career, bro. Like I think we got to add context to it. And if we take away the Tom Brady common denominator, Infrared says it beautifully. If you put Bill Belichick on the New Orleans Saints at the same time he was on the Patriots, he would have never won a Super Bowl, and that's with Drew Brees. And I believe that. I believe that 1,000%. Now, Sean Payton was able to win a Super Bowl with Drew Brees. I don't think freaking Bill Belichick would have. I don't, man. I don't. I'm sorry. It's just there's just too much data that shows us that without Tom Brady, he's a all-time loser. Without Tom Brady, Bill Belichick's an all-time loser to include at the collegiate level. So, yeah, now I'm with you, Infrared. I don't think if you put him on the Saints that he would have been the Bill Belichick that's so revered, and Jets fans are defending him like, oh, man, what do you mean he's not a first? It would have never happened. Yeah, 100%. Thank you, the Freedom House. Thank you. Traded picks for that man. Agreed to a deal, and the next thing you know, on a napkin, he quits to go be the. Now you know what? I used to be pissed off at Robert Kraft. I used to be pissed off at Robert Kraft for just doing that. Because why are you talking to this guy when he already had the job? But then I realized something. Robert Kraft is a dog. He's the kind of owner we wish we had. This is a guy who doesn't care. He understands it's all about legacy to him. He's made all the money. He's been successful business-wise. Even buying the Patriots was apparently a huge gamble. If you ever watch that Patriots documentary, this is him buying the Patriots. Just goes to show you this is the kind of guy who's bet on himself and bet on himself hard all his life. And so he tiptoed the line, went and got what he wanted. Did the same thing with Vrabel, went and got what he wanted. He is all about winning. And Woody's about making money. He's about profit. That's how you can tell the difference. Robert Kraft is going to be a first ballot Hall of Fame owner. He will be, because he did everything right. He did everything right to go ahead for his teams to succeed. He'll be a first ballot Hall of Fame owner. I'd love for him to have been our owner, because I think then you're seeing a team who cares more about winning than about the dollars and cents. I mean, we hate him all he wants to, but Bill Belichick, nah. You're a man of integrity who had already signed that paper, that contract. Could have been like, hey, man, they wanted me, you didn't when I was available. I returned the paper, call it a day. But a snake like that, yeah, it doesn't. A snake would do that, which is why you then find out later on that he got caught cheating a couple of times, and that was just when he got caught. I can only imagine how many times Bill Belichick got away with it. A few GMs came out of the BB tree that have had success. GMs? I mean, I don't think that falls under the Bill Belichick success, though. That's not part of his tree. You know what I'm saying? Like, Bill Belichick's not sitting down with GMs and teaching them how to GM, right? Like, he has input on the players that he wants, and the GMs will follow the input and then put that into place. But if I'm being honest, I don't think general managers are as important as a lot of people think they are, right? I mean, yeah, they wind up signing the deal. If you got a general manager who can go ahead and really negotiate the numbers to make sure you're always cap flexible and stuff, now that's a good GM, right? But picking players, I think a lot of that does have to do with the scouting department. I don't think a lot of general managers do their own legwork. I think they rely a lot on the scouting department or on the coach, and the coach tells them what they want. So yeah, they could have gone somewhere else, but if they had the right coaching staff, or um, the right freaking not recruiters, but scouts, you got to be fair. The Patriots coaching staff now is basically his coaching tree, and they're in the Super Bowl. No, it's not. No, it's not. Mike Vrabel was not a coach under Bill Belichick. He was a player. The only person actually on that coaching staff that was McDaniels. Was McDaniels. And if you're looking at freaking the offense in the playoffs, it's been a bad offense in the playoffs. Freaking Drake Mays looked like trash in the playoffs, but the defense has kept them in it, and then he's made some plays here and there. So they've been able to advance. But the majority of that coaching tree is not Bill Belichick's. But they didn't get trained underneath him. They Vrabel played underneath him. In fact, I don't even know. Now that you said that, now I'm kind of curious. How many on current Patriots coaching staff from Bill Belichick? All right. Yeah. Yeah, the 2025 staff is completely brand new. The only Bill Belichick era member is Josh McDaniels was the only person that was a coach underneath Bill Belichick. Yeah, everybody else was not. Yeah, so just Josh McDaniels. He's the only one that was actually a coach underneath Bill Belichick. Just 1 year turnaround. Yeah, no, I can't believe it. Just like that, just like that, and they're back in the Super Bowl. It really grinds my gears. Like I can't. It really grinds my gears. Watching Matt Patricia and GM Bob Quinn run the lines changed my perception of the Patriots organization immensely. It was painful to see the damage they caused. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a very good point, actually. The most ideal way for the Jets to have a legit playoff run in the next 10 years is to move to Alabama. uh, I mean, yeah, I guess you'd have a lot of those freaking Alabama players right out of Alabama going across the street, right, to play professional football. I'm assuming that's what you're referring to. I mean, I don't know, man. At this point, the Jets making the playoffs just sounds like would be a miracle to me. So maybe one day. I'm not hopeful currently at this stage of life. Yeah, wish you go Darnold. We got to go ahead and root for our boy Darnold, man, to go ahead and do his thing. Um, man, yeah, and I do hate Tom Brady, brother. Like I'm not saying I hate Tom Brady. I hate him with a passion. Just despise him, but I respect him as a guy who loves football. Gotta respect him because the dude was built different. He truly was, right? I used to hate Kobe Bryant as a player because I was a Knicks fan, so I hated the Lakers. I hated Kobe Bryant because of him. But as a player, you gotta respect him. You know what I'm saying? Michael Jordan, we all love my MJ. Michael Jordan's like the one universal player that you might not have been a fan of the Chicago Bulls, but you were a fan of the Chicago Bulls because of Michael Jordan. So that doesn't apply. But now, when it comes to Tom Brady, man, like I hate him because of the misery he put us through. But if you love the game, if you love football, you gotta respect him. You just got to, man. Especially his story. His story alone is worth respecting. So yeah, nah. Sucks to say that about him because of the hate that I do have for him, because we were punished by that man for 2 decades. But yeah, that is what it is. Appreciate the super chat, Jake, man. Appreciate you, Mo Lewis. Mo Lewis. What? I'm missing something. Mo Lewis. Somebody help me out. What are you trying to say, Jake? What about Mo? I'm going to assume you're referring to like our Mo Lewis, but I kind of give me some context here. I'm going to look for your response to this. I appreciate the super side, brother. $2. Appreciate you, man. Good looking out. Big Will, I understand what AG is doing. It's a gamble to fix the team. We have to tear it down. We're never a QB away when he's quietly running some of this, pulling some of the strings. Remember, you paid the cost to be the boss. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I don't get what AG's doing, and I'm saying that because I remember AG going to a press conference and telling us all that the Jets organization just needed to be coached right. I remember him going to a press conference telling us that he watched the film on this organization and this team, and this team is not far away. That they just needed the right coaching, and that's what he was. He was a coach, and he was going to come in here and he was going to fix things. Because the majority of us thought into the job it was going to be a couple of years. I thought that. You thought that. Like we all did. But he told us, no, listen, this team got some talent. We can make this work. It's the bad coaching that was a problem. Those were his words. He said that at a podium. And then he told us how most important thing for him was making sure he had the right coaching staff around him because he understands that this coaching staff can go ahead and change things. His words, that whole coaching staff is gone now. It wasn't about just the coaching. There was a talent deficit as well. We all knew that. Justin Fields, some of us sold ourselves on him being good because we saw the trajectory over the year. But most Jets fans were like, this is a horrible freaking pick. But he told us he was going to be the quarterback of the future. He just has made horrible decisions throughout this entire process. And then we get into this season where he fires the entire coaching staff that he told us that he was very particular and was very skilled at picking those guys specifically because he understood how they were going to contribute to turn this thing around. That's why I look at that. There's no plan. There's just no plan when it comes to that, man. And that's the most frustrating part. The 2026 offseason is already a catastrophe. Like, honestly, unless Woody Johnson wakes up and realizes he's the problem, or we stop spending our money on this team for him to get a clue, he needs to sell it, man. He doesn't need to sell it, but nothing's going to change. I don't think AG knows what he's doing. I don't. And I was hoping he did. I was team AG when we hired him. Right. My first choice was Vrabel. I'm not going to lie. I wanted Vrabel. I wanted Ben Johnson before I wanted AG. But when both of those options became a reality that they weren't going to be here, AG was the third guy on my list. I was like, hell yeah, bring him in. He wants the job. He loves the Jets. He knows the suffering we've been going through. And he's coming from a Lions team that's come from freaking the brink of just poverty to being relevant. So I was on board with that hire. I'm not going to pretend like I wasn't. I was team AG. But the problem is, having been a Jets fan for this long, I know, you know what bad football looks like. We know what bad coaching looks like. We've been just showered with it for so long that it pops at you when you see it. And AG is bad coaching on steroids. Like the guy he's over his head. He's just over his head. We would only have one without 100%, Jake. 100%. Without the special teams this year, we have the first overall pick. Special teams literally are responsible for 2 of our wins. That's not even an exaggeration, Jake. You're 100% right on that one. They gave us 2 wins this year. I've never had lower expectations next year. At least I'm ready for it. Yeah, no, 100%. I think this helps us a lot as a fan base, right? Because we know it's going to be trash. There's nothing you can look at right now and you're seeing it unfolding in front of your eyes in real time. Like, this organization is in shambles. Like, the stadium is burning around Aaron Glenn, and it's just a matter of time before he's standing on top of the rubble, and then Woody will be like, all right, it's time to let you go. It's going to be a tough year. And I think right now I finally kind of settled into realizing 2026 is going to suck. It's going to suck. And if I could simulate past it, I would. I'm stealing that from freaking Buffalo Jet fan. If I could simulate past the 2026 season, my goodness, I would do it in a heartbeat. But we're going to have to endure it. But with every game, every week, we're that much closer to a franchise quarterback. And, of course, Aaron Glenn getting fired. And, of course, making the team more appealing to a potential top candidate of a head coach when you've got the first overall pick, all those draft picks, all that money. I think is going to be the reasoning behind us getting hopefully a real coach in the building. But I only think that happens if Woody trusts Muji to get the guy. 'Cause I think Muji does have a football brain, and I think that if you let him go get the guy, he'll go and bring an adult in the building. So again, a lot of ifs, but all I'm looking forward to in 2026, man, is watching college football and watching which quarterback is going to skyrocket. I think it's going to be Archie. I really do. I want to gamble on that talent, that DNA. And I know he needs to work on some things going into this year, but I think sometimes we've got to gamble on the bloodline. That Manning bloodline has been very impressive at the NFL level at the quarterback position, and Archie's amongst the most. He's probably more talented than all of them in terms of physical traits. So that's us next year, man. We're watching football to go ahead and see how many games we lose so we can make sure we get that first overall pick to go get our guy. That's the way I'm looking at it, because otherwise it'll just be a miserable year of watching football if you have expectations higher than that. The Freedom House, I had hoped they would fire AG until he hired a coordinator. The tank crowd already won. 100%. They did. 100%. And now we look foolish for having believing. I look foolish for having believing that you should never try the tank. And now I feel dumb for having said that, because if we had, maybe he would be gone by now. We'll still be at week 1. The thing is, Vero, we all will. I'm watching week 1. It wouldn't shock me if I pay to go to the week 1 game. Why? Because I'm a Jets fan. A fan is short for a fanatic, and I'm every bit the fanatic about the Jets. Even when I know they're going to hurt me, even when I know they're going to freaking break me, I'm ready for the suffering to begin again. I'm ready to suffer all over again every freaking season. You all are. All of us are. We're mad now, but we're going to watch every single game, Jets fans. We are. And we're going to hope that we're wrong. We're going to hope that next year AG comes out there and we were dead wrong. I really am hoping for that. Chances are we won't be wrong, though, and it'll be miserable. But we're going to kick off the new year at the very least with hope, because that's just how we're wired as a fan base. All right, y'all. Final take for final thought. Jake says, "Yep, only reason it's worth keeping Glenn this year is knowing that we're going to tank. We might be appealing next year, so to a coach, nobody is coming here even as assistants right now. 100%. Right now, this is the job nobody wants to be in, because everybody worth a damn knows that AG's on a very short leash. Very short leash. Yeah, Jake, I'll be there week 1, hoping for a win, hoping that they show us a sign of life, and that all of this pain we're going through right now talking about the team was just hyperbole, because we're just Jets fans, and this is just how we look at things. But I think we're going to be disappointed. So disappointed. Yeah, man, I'm Gunny Gumby, guys. I appreciate you guys, man. This has been the Hangar Hangout. Now, it's hard to talk about freaking next year, because it's clear that the 2026 season is already a loss. It really is. Like, just going through, you all feel the same way I'm feeling, and that's tough. The hope is we fire Glenn, right? Like, after he loses so many games, that we can get the first overall pick, and then hopefully we get an adult in the building to be the next head coach. Now, I know some people want Gruden to be that next head coach, but I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I'm not really high on that thought process. And apparently Gruden might be interested in the job if it was a head coaching position. But the guy hasn't been relevant, man, in 2 decades. Now, I'm gonna tell y'all a secret. This is where I'm gonna leave off at. I want Clint Kubiak to be this team's head coach. I do. I'm telling y'all, man, he's the next boy wonder in the NFL. Clint Kubiak, and I'm gonna give credit where credit is due, man. Wow. I got my information from. Hold on 1 second. I want to make sure he's still. Like, when I first heard this name for Clint Kubiak, I won't lie to you, I was like, I mean, it's still kind of early, right? Before I felt you can go ahead and jump on that bandwagon. But Tigo was right. Tigo is the one that put me on freaking Clint, and I started watching him a lot closer this year. And I'm telling y'all, man, Clint Kubiak, he's going to be that next dude. He's that next McVay. He is. And I'm hoping he makes it past this cycle and he's available next year, because I think he should be the guy. But let's be honest. As long as Woody Johnson is freaking the owner of this team, we're not going to make any innovative decision or innovative moves. So a guy like that might never even be brought in for an interview. Or maybe the innovative options won't want us because of Woody Johnson. So sell the damn team, Woody. Sell the damn team, bro. You're a curse to this organization and to us, the fans. Sell the team, Woody. Do us a favor, man. Sell the team. I know you're not going to do it, but my goodness, man, you're horrible. Shout out to a new fire team member, brother. Jake, appreciate you, man. Gunny's fire team, Charlie. This is awesome because it puts you in a situation to where now when we do our next giveaway, you are an automatic entry into the giveaway, plus any entries you can go ahead and gain from whatever the rules of that giveaway is. So appreciate your support, man. Appreciate you joining the fire team. Welcome to the club. Infrared. Okay, did Charles respond back to the gas? Yeah, he did, brother. He responded back. He responded actually through Nick, and Nick was able to get me his information, Nick Shine, and he got the jersey as of Friday. So the jersey was shipped out, and he got it as of Friday. But yeah, he got a hold of me through Nick Shine, so he got the jersey. All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all, man. This has been the Hanger. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and tell your friends about the Hangar Hangout, man. Have them come on. Have them freaking subscribe. We're creeping right now towards 2,000 subs, and hopefully we can get there by training camp this year, and I can give away this autographed Joe Namath jersey to one of the lucky first 2,000 subscribers. So I'm your boy Gunny. I'm out. Have a good night, fanatics. And as always, go Jets.
I can do it all, I will never fall. It's the Renaissance, you know that I got the mother sauce. You know I'm the boss, I know what it costs. Have you ever lost? I'm so versatile, yeah,